I've got the latest news and highlights from the weekend's practices up at Chiefs Camp in St. Joe on today's KCSN Update presented by DraftKings.
This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into today's KCSN Update presented by DraftKings for July the 30th. I'm Tucker Franklin here, going to get you caught up on the weekend practices that the Kansas City Chiefs had on Saturday and Sunday. Unfortunately, the practice on Saturday was cut short due to weather to the public. They did finish practice on inside. There was a little bit of a big news nugget that came out from that practice, but I'm here to get you caught up on everything you need to know, plus show you the highlights from Sunday's practice as well. So let's get into that. Kind of the biggest news story that came out of Saturday's practice was after the Chiefs moved inside, after they moved their practice inside from the public practice facility outside in St. Joe because of inclement weather. Nate Taylor sent out this tweet. Unfortunately, after the Chiefs moved indoors because of heavy rain, Nazeeh Johnson, who has had a nice camp, sustained what appeared to be a significant right leg injury on the first rep of a team period. The Chiefs could provide an update soon. Really tough to see for Nazeeh Johnson. He had been having a very good camp, as Nate Taylor did mention, but a lot of depth in that defensive backfield, that defensive secondary. So it's going to be put to the test early on. Don't really want to see that a whole lot. So I think a very sad news coming out of camp there, because I was really looking forward to see what Nazeeh Johnson could do for this Chiefs defense, and as well on special teams as well. He contributed a lot in that department too. But very tough day for Nazeeh Johnson on the news front of that. And we didn't get any better news coming out on Sunday as the Chiefs put Nazeeh Johnson. They announced he did tear his ACL. And this tweet from Matt Derrick says, Chiefs cornerback Nazeeh Johnson tore his ACL, and linebacker Isaiah Moore will require surgery on his knee. They will go to the injured reserve to make room for tight end Isaiah Gatherings and defensive back Anthony Witherstone. Now, Witherstone was with the Chiefs for a little bit before he was cut, I believe, on June 20th. So he was with the team during minicamps. Gatherings has been with the New York Jets the past couple of months, so he comes into the team. That both of those were present on Sunday's practice. So they were at practice on Sunday, getting acclimated with the team. Had to fill that roster, those two roster spots on that 91-man roster the Chiefs do. So bringing those guys in, getting them integrated with the team. Now, something that's different this year than has been in years past. There's only one cut down day. And I believe it's at the end of August. So only one cut down day. I think it's August 29th is when that cut down day is. There's no more staggered cut down days to get your roster from 91 down to 85, then from 85 down to I think it's like 75, and then to your 53. Only one cut down day. So to get these guys in here, you can see a little bit more of them before the first first preseason games going on and everything. But those were the two additions with the two injuries. Nazeeh Johnson and Isaiah Moore were both put on the injured reserve, effectively ending their season in 2023. They cannot come back from that since the season has not started yet. So we will not see Nazeeh Johnson. We will not see Isaiah Moore for 2023 with that knee surgery being required. Matt McMullen tweeted this out. Nazeeh Johnson tore his ACL yesterday per Coach Reed. Isaiah Moore knee, who has missed all the last several days, needs surgery. An additional injury report, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is sick. Mike Dana had a calf injury he's working through, and Jody Fordson shoulder with Kadarius Toney also knee did not work out today as well. So interesting, Clyde Edwards-Helaire misses another practice because he is sick. I don't know what's been going around. I think there was another sickness too earlier, so I think I might just have something going on in those in the dorm rooms. But Mike Dana with that calf injury, as I mentioned on Friday's episode, he dealt with the calf during the regular season, and now it seems to be flaring back up. It's a strained calf, so he's just trying to work through that. And Jody Fordson has that shoulder injury as well. And you already know, Kadarius Toney going through knee surgery. He had successful knee surgery, a little cleanup of his meniscus tear. Everything should be good there. He's just trying to get rested back up until the regular season. It's going to be interesting what they do with Kadarius Toney, because I don't think he's going to be out for the season. It's not an injury that can take him out for the whole remainder of the season. So they're not going to put him on IR right now. And since he's already started practicing, he can't go on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list, because you can only be placed on the PUP list if you haven't practiced. So it's one of those situations where they have to keep him active, and they'll probably keep him active until that final cutdown day, I believe, on August 29th. And then he's going to immediately go on the IR. You have to stay out for at least, I believe, 4 weeks once you get him placed on the IR. So that's probably what they're going to do. We're going to see somebody get cut and then immediately signed back with the Chiefs. So that's just kind of how that whole process works out. But be very interested to see how they kind of get through that and maneuver it with Kadarius Toney's injury, because we probably will not see him for the rest of the preseason, which honestly is okay. I'm okay with that. I would love to see Kadarius Toney healthy in October rather than healthy at the beginning of the year. But let's go ahead and get to the highlights from Sunday's practice. Let's get to the first play I've got here. This is on one-on-ones. This is Rashee Rice, kind of a star of Chiefs training camp so far. He's taking on DiCaprio Boodle, I believe, in this clip. Yeah, and he's going one-on-one against him. He hauls in this pass for a touchdown. Rashee Rice has been playing very well. Could see some increased targets now, especially with John Ross's retirement. Kadarius Toney, as I mentioned, dealing with that meniscus tear and cleanup surgery. So Rashee Rice, a guy to watch. The second-round pick out of SMU is definitely a guy to watch this year. Another guy that could be very interesting to watch as well is tight end Matt Bushman. Now, I've said that the Chiefs do love to keep a lot of tight ends on this roster. Jody Fortson dealing with a shoulder injury. Could that give Matt Bushman an opening, a window to get onto this roster? Possibly could. We'll see how that all shakes out and see how severe the injury is for Jody Fortson. But Matt Bushman makes a good play here, a good scheme, gets him open, finds him in the end zone for a touchdown. So we'll see how that tight end room all shakes out. Very interested to see that. Let's move on to the 7-on-7 period as MVS here catches this touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes. A leaping catch from MVS there in the back of the end zone, comes down with it for a catch. Great play from MVS there, and we're not done seeing plays from MVS. He's had a pretty solid camp, and a guy who's kind of been a little underrated, I think, coming into this Chiefs team, this Chiefs season and camp as a whole. A lot of people talking about how the wide receiver room needs more guys in it, and I mean, I think so the same, but MVS deserves credit for his own regard too. So he's got some good things going on. We're going to stick on 7-on-7. Richie James right here. Mahomes scrambling around, finds Richie James crossing across the back of the end zone. Kind of like this is your patented Mahomes play right here. He finds Richie James, keeping the play alive for a great catch from Richie James. Another guy who has had a really good camp, and another guy to keep an eye on as the preseason rolls around to see what those guys have connection-wise going into it. And finally, let's end on this MVS connection on this deep ball. I really love to see Mahomes and MVS establishing this connection early. It's very important for these guys to get that deep ball connection, because sometimes last year it looked like they didn't quite have their connection down. It's looking like they're getting there this year. They just need another year underneath their belt, and hopefully we get to see a whole lot of more deep balls this year with maybe safeties and corners trying to come up to stop the quick stuff. They can unload a little bit on those deep balls. I really want to see Mahomes sling that thing deep again. That'd be so fun to watch. But that's going to do it for today's episode of KCS and Update. Really appreciate you guys watching the video, hanging out with me here as I get you caught up to date on everything that's going on. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, so make sure to like this video, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on all these injuries that the Chiefs are seeing at camp so far. Is it cause for concern, or do you think it's just par for the course when looking around the league? So let me know in the comment section below. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and getting caught up on everything you need to know with the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's going to do it. I'm Tucker Franklin. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So until then, I'll see you later.